Okay, everybody, doing a test further to the previous video. So now I've got the old camera on the helmet and I've plugged in a lavalier mic. They call them a lav mic. I don't know what lavalier means. I'll look it up, work it out when I get back inside. So this is and I'll show it to you inside what it looks like. Just a little microphone. It's on the magnet inside the helmet. It is wired into the camera through the USB-C port in the side of the camera, so I'll show that to you also when we get in. So this is what it sounds like when it's nice and quiet. Problem being, let's get going. Oh, there we go. I've just mowed the grass down the driveway. Hello, Baxter. Wendy's gone to see her dad. He's taken a turn for the worse. And she's going to check on him with my daughter. Two of them are down there, and then they sent me a picture of their lunch at the Almara Hotel. Cheeky buggers. Okay, I don't know what the sound will be like. This is a test for you and me. So we're not going very fast. Okay, so I'm going to close the screen. Okay, that's the front door down. Here we go. What's that like? I haven't got my safety gear on because I don't plan on falling off. But that's pretty silly of me because no one plans on falling off, do they? Alright, so now that I'm going along with this microphone, it's better than nothing, maybe. That's debatable. But I'll unplug it for a minute. So all you'll get is the camera on the front. So unplugging now. Okay, that should be plugged back in. And that's what it sounds like. Oh boy, it's a warm day, ladies and gentlemen. 33 degrees at home. What's that? 66, 96-ish Fahrenheit. There's quite a few warm days coming up now. There's no rain forecast for at least the next 7 days, I know that. We've already got enough dead grass at home. We did get a little bit of rain the other day, but nothing to be proud of. Okay, gonna pull up down here in the shade somewhere. So this microphone, in my humble opinion, is no good for the bike. I mean, it's an emergency backup at best. Just doesn't sound good. And you can't adjust it anyway. It's just what it is. It's as good as it gets. Okay, let's stop here for a minute in the shade, preferably. So, folks, that's what it sounds like. Open the front screen up. So there's that. Alright, now we'll switch cameras around. Give me a second. Okay, folks, this is what a peanut I am. You really got to double check and triple check when you do any adjustments and modifications to the sound gear or the camera, because for whatever reason, I took that little microphone, turned on the Osmo Action 4, put it all, I thought I had it turned on, clearly not, put it all on my helmet and rode off, talking all sorts of nonsense, trying to show you this, trying to show you that, didn't record a damn thing.
So I cocked up again. Now, went to town later and recorded a bit of stuff on the Osmo Action 4 and the Mic Mini, so that's coming up shortly. Let's see how we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've had to come out again and do this little bit of the footage because I just keep getting things wrong. I thought I was filming, but I wasn't. I did, it's a long story. You really have to check and double check, so, but then look, the average person with half a brain would get it right, but no, I keep getting it wrong. Anyway, so earlier I went out with Baxter and we recorded the Osmo Action 3 with the lavalier mic. As I was saying in that little bit of footage, that it's not a real good option for recording. It just sounds terrible when you're going along. It's okay if you're in a very quiet room and you're standing still, it's okay, but the minute you get any movement or noise around you, it just gets all terrible. But anyway, so this is the Osmo Action 4 camera that is wirelessly connected to the microphone in the helmet. That's the Mic Mini. It's very windy today. So currently I'm completely wireless. No connection. I can charge this while I'm riding if I want to via a cable plugged into the USB. It's a really good option. The little Mic Mini are fairly inexpensive. I think $69-ish each here in Australia. They're good. Now, on the Mic Mini in my helmet, there's a little on-off power button. You need to press and hold to turn it on and off. But if you just give it a short press, it turns on an extra layer of noise protection or cutting out a bit of wind noise. It's an extra noise filter, let's call it. So I'm going to try and do that while we're riding here. Okay, I've got my finger on the button. So that is normal. Let's call it normal. That is noise reduction. We're back to normal. So whatever the settings in the camera, you can adjust all the gain and everything in the microphone through the camera. Once you've got that established, you've got this extra button on the mic. So that's normal. And then we press that button and we go into an extra layer of noise dissipation, whatever you want to call it. And we're back to normal. And I turn it again and we're back to, I don't know what the damn thing's called, I should look that up. And we're back to normal, I think. Let me pull it out and have a look. Yeah, that's on normal. Hit the button and we go to extra noise dissipation and back to normal. So there we go. Quick overview. Folks, when I get back home, I'll go through quickly a little bit about the editing we do. Very quickly. It's a long story. And I'm sure you've got better things to listen to, but I'll just give you a brief overview of what we get up to and what's involved, should you wish to do it yourself. Because dead set, it is super easy in the way I do it, because I'm not super clever. And I'll explain that when I get home, why I'm not super clever. Well, we know why. I didn't listen at school, that's why. There's a few storms around, folks. There's a bit of a
storm cloud up that way, but they're not coming here, unfortunately. They're down Nimboida way. Anyway, chaps, I'll talk to you when I get home. Hooroo! Oh, that's another thing. Should you get a camera, like one of these DJIs or a GoPro or whatever, what I've been doing lately is just leaving it running on my helmet if I'm going anywhere and using it sort of like a dash cam. When you get home and there's been no event and you don't want to keep anything off it, you just get home and you delete it. It is cycling the battery, but, well, they should last a long time. As in, you know, using the battery shouldn't hurt it. For the amount of times I'll be riding, I don't think. So, yeah, I just use it as a dash cam, just have it running. Don't need a microphone, because there's, you know, sound is not important really. Just put the camera on the helmet, and or even on the windscreen here or something, mount it up so it looks through the windscreen, and sort of have it as a dash cam. Should something go wrong, you've got evidence, and if it was your fault, take the camera and throw it as far as you can. Right, that is all. Okay, here we have a camera gantry temporarily set up on the road. I don't think it's a speed camera. I think it's a surveillance camera for people using telephones while they're driving, is what I think it is. What would I know? But that's what I'm guessing. Just as a point of interest, folks, I just turned the camera on when I got to the bike. The microphone stays on pretty much, well, I leave it on the whole time. So it's turned on in the helmet, the little blue light's on. Apparently it goes for 8 hours. I don't know if that's true, but let's say it does. I know it goes a long time on one charge. So it stays on in your helmet, because I was saying on the kitchen bench how it's a bit of a bummer. You got to take it out of your helmet, turn it on, turn the camera on, wait for them to pair up, and then you can start talking. Well, if you leave it on and you know you're going to be turning the camera on and off on a few occasions over a shorter period of time, you can leave the microphone turned on in the helmet, it just stays there, and you turn the camera on and off while it's on the front of the helmet on your chin. Oop, had it turned down. Just then when I turned the camera on, it paired up within about 3 seconds, and the little message comes up on the screen, microphone paired, and how much battery is left in the microphone. So that's pretty good little trick. Just leave it on, turn the camera on and off, and it just pairs up every time you turn it on. Okay, I'll talk to you when I get home. Alright folks, as I said in the video on the road, this is the lavalier mic that I bought. It's cheap, cheerful. There are many different brands available. It's just a USB-C at this end. That just magnetically fixes inside the helmet right in front of your mouth, and you just have the lead you've got to hide somewhere. So, as I said, that's okay for when you're standing still or there's no wind noise around or anything, but other than that it's pretty useless because it sort of makes some terrible noises. It sort of sounds like you're in a tunnel sometimes. It's really weird. Not really ideal for motor vlogging. The best microphone that I've found so far that DJI has come up with is, you know, your little mic mini, and I'll just show you that again. So that little thing just sits inside the helmet, magnetically attached. Put it back here. Great little microphone. Now, as I said, I'd love, only because we enjoy it so much, I guess. I'm sort of thinking, oh, well, maybe everyone will enjoy doing what we do, but of course not. Everyone's got different plans and ways of having fun. But if you want to, you're sort of thinking, oh, well, yeah, I could record some of my rides, and even if I keep it for myself and don't show anybody or don't put it on YouTube. One of the things that we have a problem with is storage. We don't have a laptop, well, or a desktop. Now we do have a laptop which we recently purchased, thinking we should progress to that and move away from this iPad, but that didn't work. I don't understand. I've never had a laptop or a desktop. I don't know anything about them. It just didn't work for me, because we started 3 odd years ago-ish, and I started editing here on the iPad, just on the iMovie app. It is easy. I understand it. It's really simple. When it came to the laptop, I just don't understand it. I simply do not get it. A real problem for me. So we purchased a laptop, and it's a total waste of flaming money, and now I've got to try and sell it. So yeah, and it had a terabyte of storage. This iPad's only got 128 gigabyte of storage, so it's a problem, because 2 or 3 hours on the little camera here will take up that 128 gig, and there's not 128 gig available, because I'll quickly show you here. So we've got storage, where are you? So I've got this little bit of footage that I've put on today about this recording. I've already deleted last night's video, that's gone. You can't leave them on here, there's no room. So I've used up 60 out of 128. Most of it is in applications, but for some reason, I don't understand how Apple does their storage, but it's weird. So I'm going to have to get a better iPad with more storage space, so we can sort of put more video from the camera onto the iPad so we can edit it. So it's a bit of cock and round, but if you understand an iPad or a phone or iPhone, the editing is dead easy. It's the storage is the problem. And to be truthful, half the reason we like YouTube is because all of our footage is on YouTube. None of it's here on the iPad. It's all gone. The day that is uploaded onto YouTube, I delete it off the iPad, so I've got room for the next one. Now, that's not ideal, I know, but someone in a store told me, oh, you get yourself a USB, a hard drive to plug into the iPad. He sold it to me. I brought it home. Doesn't work. It can only do so much of it. Like, it won't do a full movie. You can only download so many minutes before it says no, cannot transfer. So storage is the problem. But if you've got a way of getting it off the iPad onto iCloud or into a hard drive, not a problem. You can do that. I don't have that facility, so the day the movie goes up onto YouTube, once it's up there, I delete everything. So I can't re-edit, I can't do anything with it, but it's there on the TV or our phone or whatever you look at YouTube on, whatever you use to watch it, we can go back to that. And when we die, it'll just probably, I don't know, fall off the edge of the earth, whatever. But we can always go back to YouTube and have a look. But storage is our problem on the iPad. Now, I would like to get a bigger iPad. Probably this year we might do that with 512 gigs, so we can, because also when you get very near full of storage, the editing slows down and gets very laggy and glitchy. So there is that. But if you know how to use an iPad, you can edit your own stuff, put it up on YouTube for free. If you've got the iPad, you just need the camera. and you just get a couple of apps on your iPad, a DJI app or a GoPro app, what's the other one? Insta360 app. Whatever camera you buy, whatever path you want to travel down, it's not rocket science, because as I said, a dipshit like me can work it out. Anyone can do it. So, okay, folks, that'll do. That's a rough overview of what we do and how we do it. So hopefully some of you guys can go out there and maybe do it too. Okay, cheers, chaps.